My name is Patrick McNeil, and I'm excited to be here today to lead this first presentation in a series on getting acclimated to the web. And so we do call it Web 101. I guess I just want to dive right in and cover what I would call the kind of the mission here that we're trying to accomplish. So fundamentally, it's to teach you really the basics of how a website is hosted, how it's found by visitors, how the content's generated, and ultimately delivered to the end user. So as a result, this presentation really is a primer on how the web fundamentally works. The impact it has on a designer ultimately kind of stems from that in some various ways. So why even do this? I think it's probably a good idea to give sort of a purpose to this. Really, the purpose is pretty simple. It's to help you understand the foundational elements that you're designing on, to enable you to really communicate more effectively with your development team, and of course, because ultimately you want to design for the web, and the end product here is really to help you embrace the medium. So it's similar to if you were approaching print for the first time. Part of that training is just to educate you on how printing processes work and why that matters. And yes, you might not ever go run a printing press, but you still need to understand kind of what's going on. So hopefully at the end of this you'll be able to understand what you're working with a little better, and especially be able to communicate with the team you're on a lot more effectively. So the plan here is fairly simple. We've got three kind of core components I want to cover. The first is the basic technologies that the web is built on. Second is how a website works and is ultimately delivered to a visitor. And finally, what I call the different layers of a website. So before we dive in, I want to just give you a quick overview of who I am. As I said, my name is Patrick McNeil. You can contact me on my site or on Twitter, and if you have questions beyond what we cover here or after this, feel free to get on there and contact me. I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. So as it says, I did start my career in the IT field, actually. I was building networks, setting up routers and servers, and installing those into school districts and businesses and stuff like that. And so I started on the heavy IT side. I slowly transitioned into web hosting and eventually web development type work, which ultimately spurred me to return to school for design, thinking I might make the switch fully. But ultimately, I just sort of sat on the fence the whole time. I've never quite gone full heel into either side anymore. I just sort of sit right in the middle. And so I work as the content director for How Interactive Design, where I help write a lot of the content and just sort of generally plan what we're going to do. And of course, I write a ton myself, including several books and such. So that's who I am. I always like to know who is talking to me, so that's where I come from.